Good evening and welcome to our Ask Me Anything sessions, which happens every Tuesday, okay, at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, so today we have come up with a different topic. Okay, this was actually suggested by one of the viewers. Okay, so because we come across a lot of reels which compare sugar, jaggery, and honey, and they said everything has got calories, so all the three are same. There is no difference per se between sugar, jaggery, and honey. So what does Ayurveda say about sugar, jaggery, and honey is what we are going to see today. In the sense, what we are just going to compare, okay, superficially about. Namaste, Aravindia. So we are just going to compare sugar, jaggery, and honey and see if there are any differences between these three. For that, we'll see individually the three of them, and then we'll try to see how they are. Okay. Now, sugar. Okay, in Sanskrit it's called sita because it is white in color. Okay. So according to Ayurveda, it says it gives energy. All of us know that, because it's definitely Madhura Rasa. Okay, when you look at from the Ayurveda point of view, Madhura Rasa, Ajanma Satmya. We are used to having sweet since birth, and it actually gives a lot of tushti and pushti. It gives a lot of energy. And sugar is sweet and it gives a lot of energy. Okay. And it is shita basically. Okay, it is not very hot and it pacifies rakta and pitta. And because it is Madhura Rasa, it actually pacifies, vata also. So it will increase kapha a little bit. Okay. So it is good for burning sensations, thirst, vomiting, dizziness, and other conditions. Okay. In the sense when you have walked out, these are things which we do when people, when they have walked a lot in the sun and they feel that they get a lot of burning sensation, especially, and a little bit of cramps, especially they get it in the legs. We mix sugar in water and ask them to drink. It pacifies that immediately. Okay, for burning sensation it's very good. Okay, and it is considered to be the best among the sugar cane producers. Sugar cane, you get what you get. There's something called panita. Okay, the first liquid which you get, brownish color liquid which you get, panita, guda, sita, a lot of things which come from sugar cane. Sugar is considered to be the superior most. Okay, now when you look at jaggery, okay, it is called guda in Sanskrit. Okay, and after proper, see, because when you take the juice from the sugar cane, it is called panita. Okay, so it'll have a lot of impurities, external impurities. You'll also have flies, a lot of things you'll have inside that. That is called panita. So once you purify that only and solidify, it becomes guda. You heat it and then make it guda. Before that, it's called panita. So guda increases kapha and reduces vata. It actually increases kapha to a large extent, and it'll pacify vata also. It is heavy and very difficult to digest. It relieves constipation. Okay, and when you take guda or jaggery, you pass motions really well, and it also helps you pass urine. It has got the direct properties of sugarcane because it is directly coming from sugarcane. But by the time it reaches, what do you call sugar, it only pacifies the burning sensation in the urine, but it does not promote the passing of urine too much. Okay. Now, old jaggery is jaggery which has been kept for a year. When you keep it for a year, it becomes pathya. So as far as food and medicine goes, it is always good to use jaggery which has been kept and stored for a year. Okay. It is difficult to digest when it is fresh, but when it is kept for a year, it becomes slightly easier to digest, and we consider jaggery to be pathya after a year, just like rice and tamarind. You keep it for a year, it becomes pathya. So the new jaggery, okay, that means freshly taken jaggery increases the kapha a lot too much, and it is very difficult to digest, and it causes indigestion. That means it causes agni mandya. The digestion slows down a lot. So this is basically about jaggery. Okay. Now, when you look at honey, okay, it's called madhu or makshika or even kshaudra in Sanskrit. Okay, there are different kinds of honey available in the market. Okay, it is good against all kapha disorders. In the sense, it's got the property of scraping kapha. So when you have got cough, okay, so when we give medicines for cough, when you have got the phlegm, we tell them to take, say, for example, Thalisa Patradi Churnam. We tell them to mix Thalisa Patradi Churnam in honey and give. Okay, like there is something also called Dashamula Katutrayam Kashayam. It's a kada, Dashamula Katutrayam Kashayam. So when you give that Kashayam, the Prakshepa Dravya is honey. It is basically meant to remove the kapha. When you have got too much of kapha, you add honey in that and give. So when the kapha slowly comes down, you reduce the amount of honey. You can also give it without honey. But the yoga or the medicine, when the shloka says that you have to add honey along with the Dashamula Kartrangasham, that is to remove the kapha. So it scrapes the kapha out. Okay. So when it scrapes the kapha out, it is something which will increase the vata. Okay. So in all respiratory conditions like breathing issues, like cough, and even hiccups, honey is very good. It has got amazing wound healing properties. Okay, so when you have got a wound, we apply honey. Even for burns, honey is basically applied. Okay, so in skin issues, in worm infestations, and if a person is vomiting, what we do is we add honey in water and ask the person to drink, because vomiting is basically from the top. It is more of a kapha disorder. So you mix honey. We also make people lick honey when they have got vomiting. You can also mix honey in water and the person can drink little by little. It will pacify vomiting. The same thing happens with diarrhea also. Okay, initial stages of diarrhea, it will slow down diarrhea. So honey is actually very good. Okay, and if you have noticed that if you keep honey for a longer period of time, you'll see sediments coming down. Okay, in the form of crystallization, crystal, because that honey crystals. Some people think that oh, if there are crystals in the honey, then it is only sugar water and not honey. No, that is wrong. Even pure honey can crystallize, and that is called madhu sharkara. There's a reference in Ayurveda also. So Tadvat Madhu Sharkara, that means the properties of Madhu Sharkara is same as the properties of honey. Okay, honey, basically there are two varieties. One is the honey which comes from the bee, the large bees, and the one that which comes from the small bees. Okay, the stingless bee, we call that. Okay, that is Kshudra. Okay, that's why you have got the honey. Synonym of honey is also Kshaudra, that which comes from the small bee. And we consider the honey which is taken, which is given to you from the stingless bee, considered to be superior. It is very good for all eye diseases. Okay, which one? Honey. Okay, now just let us compare honey, sugar, and jaggery. Okay, so when you compare, sugar reduces pitta and vata. Okay, and it mildly increases kapha. It's easy to digest and light. So whenever you have got excessive pitta, you will notice that most of, say for example, if for pitta, the panchakarma which we do is virechana. That means giving medicines for loose motions. Okay, virechana. In that avipatti churna is given. Avipatti churna contains a lot of sugar. Okay, because it will pacify. Pitta is basically pacified by sugar. Okay, now if you look at it is very easy to digest. It is easy to digest. It is not very heavy, and it is light. Okay, and absorption happens very fast, and energy released is pretty good. But when you look at jaggery, okay, it increases kapha a lot. Okay, extreme kapha. Okay, it promotes, that means when you try to when you take too much of guda, you'll put on a lot of weight. Okay, it is very difficult to digest, and especially for skin diseases, you cannot, jaggery is not supposed to be taken. You can take sugar and you can take honey also, but you know, Kuda is not supposed to be taken because the itching will actually go up because it increases the kapha really too much. Okay. So when you look at honey, okay, honey scrapes, as I said before, honey scrapes kapha, it reduces kapha, okay, and it increases vata. Have you noticed? You understood the difference? Okay. Jaggery actually pacifies vata and increases kapha, while honey, it removes kapha and increases vata. So they are almost opposite. So when you look at the dravyas which are best for each doshas, for vata, the best is sesame oil, taila. For pitta, it is ghee, and for kapha, it is honey. For any kapha disorder, okay, you can give honey. And honey has also been prescribed for prameha. Okay, prameha is diabetes. So honey is good actually even for diabetes, but you should note that diabetes, initial stage of diabetes might be one year, 2 years, 3 years, maximum to 3 to 4 years. If you take honey for diabetes, it will actually reduce the diabetes and increase the Um, can you hear me now? Oh my God. Yeah, the internet just crashed. So basically, yeah, so I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. So you may start asking your questions. Let us get into the questions right now. Okay, can't do technical issues. So now I'll start taking questions. Oh, okay, there are questions already there. So hello world. Let me start here. Hinduism preaches non-violence, but they have mentioned meats in Ayurvedic tests. Secondly, rishis speak highly about brahmacharya and then they write Kama Sutra. Why so much contradiction? I think, hello world, probably you, in my opinion, you are getting extremely confused. Okay. Um, Hinduism is basically, I don't know what you mean by Hinduism. Basically, if you mean, the kind of life which the people used to live over here, the word Hindu came from the group of people who lived by the Sindhu River. Okay, Indus Valley. That's why I call it Hindu came. The word Hindu came from there. But the people who lived over here, you mean the Vedic people and all those things. See, these are two different streams altogether. Okay, so I don't want you to get confused at all. People who are on the spiritual travel is one part of the people. You will have all kinds of people who follow Sanatana Dharma, the Hinduism, so-called Hinduism. You will have people who are on the path of spirituality. For them, probably eating non-veg and all those things are not mentioned. But people who are in this world, living in this world, everything is fine. It's not at all a problem as long as you are in moderation. So if you look at Ayurveda, okay, Ayurveda is not something to do with any spirituality here. It is basically it is a science which helps you manage your health. And for health in that condition, if you if eating meat will actually make you healthy, you can. There are no compulsions that you should eat meat, but if you consume that meat and that can make you healthy, then you can have it. But if you look at non-violence, as you said, uh, Hinduism, the so-called Hinduism, does not preach absolute non-violence. It is Buddhism and Jainism which actually started preaching absolute non-violence. Okay, and now when you see again the same thing, brahmacharya has not been brahmacharya. The word brahmacharya means Brahman is the ultimate knowledge. Okay, charya is traveling. Anybody who is traveling towards that ultimate knowledge is called a brahmachari. Okay, for that travel, probably a lot of amassing a lot of wealth, money, wealth, properties, and woman, okay, might be a distraction. That is why any association with women is basically called anti brahmacharya. So probably looking at Smaranam Kirtanam Keli, what Smaranam Kirtanam Keli Guhyabhat, having any association with women is basically considered to be non-brahmacharya because that can obstruct your travel towards Brahma. Okay, so not having sex with women is the most grossest way of looking at brahmacharya. That's not the way it is. So but when you are, as we said in Ayurveda also, dharma artha kama, okay, that means you are following dharma and then you're amassing wealth, and kama is basically wealth can be anything in any form, okay, and enjoying that. So kama is not something which Ayurveda is against. So but the thing is that you should not be too attached to all those things. Hope I'm trying to explain this the way you're understanding. So don't confuse spirituality and all these things. Okay, that's a different thing altogether. Good ghee brand in India, I am not very sure. Okay, you can probably go check it out because people say Amul ghee, that ghee, Vijaya ghee, a lot of ghees are available, commercially available things are there. But if you can find somebody near your home who is preparing fresh ghee or at home, that should be the best thing. Okay. Uh, Priya Sahu. Sometimes my bones pain a lot, including joints. I'm 35 years old. Please suggest something. So if your bones are paining, if you look at Ashraya, Ashrayi Bhav, that means we have got the seven dhatus, sapta dhatus, and we have got the three doshas. Okay, so all seven dhatus, say loosely translated, you can say the tissues. Okay, rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asthi. Asthi is the bone. So which dosha is there in which what do you call in which dhatu is something which we have to understand. Tatra sthino sthito vayu. Okay, in the asthi or in the bone, it is vayu. Okay, vata. So when the vata goes up, then the quality of the bone goes down. And when the vata goes down, that means the kapha goes up, the quality of the bone goes up. Okay, so that's the reason why, when we look at the age, the first age of a person is kapha, then middle age is pitta, and the older age, as we get old, we get into the vata stage. That means the vata is going up. So when the vata is going up, naturally the quality of your bone goes down. That's why you come across osteoporosis, all those things. So when you get pain in the bone, that means your vata is, the quality of your bone has gone down and your vata is extremely high. You should take care of it. So there are things like, you might not be sleeping on time, you might be doing too much of exercise, or you might be getting exposed to things which are making your body cold and dry, which might be increasing your body pain. If you don't have any infections per se, okay, infective bone disease, otherwise vata is very high. So application of, just see if you apply oil, if your pain is going down, if you apply heat, whether the pain is going down, or else you have to consult a doctor and try to see what is actually going wrong. I just gave the theoretical part of it. Okay. When I consume raw green mango, I get body ache. That means, your your channels are being blocked. The vata is not moving properly. You are basically getting digestive issues because of the sour taste. Okay, so I would say if you're eating raw mango, uh, add a little bit of salt and coconut oil in it and have, you might not face this thing. Okay, try it out and let me know. Kamalat, I get cold frequently. I feel amla powder with honey works better than amla with hot water for me. Is it okay to amla powder with honey regularly? See, amla is something which you can consume on a daily basis, but not powder basically. But fine, and honey is also something which you can consume on a regular basis. So if you feel that amla with honey is actually giving you effect, then it is really good. Amla is not heat generating. Amla is rasayani and it is cool. Okay, it cools the system. Okay, but honey is something which can scrape the kapha, and if you're consuming more, probably you'll start seeing that there is always a chance of you also getting constipated. Okay, so just keep a check on it, and if you feel that you are going to get a cold, then you can probably take this, and I don't want you to make this a habit. Okay, because if the honey goes up, you might feel constipated. Okay, just keep a check on that. If you're fine, go ahead, no problem at all. See, I do, these things are very difficult for me to answer. Okay, good brand of honey, good brand of ghee, and all those things. I don't think um, I don't know. Basically, you go. I think there are a lot of companies like 24 Mantra is one company, organic company, which is selling, in my opinion, very, very, very good Jaggery, which is an organic source. So probably you can go for some organic Jaggery and buy those. Hello world. Okay. Why is post-digestive taste given in Ayurvedic food properties? You know, post-digestive taste is very important for balancing the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Okay, something which can be what do you call normally. Okay, we have got six tastes, and okay, so the first three, Madura, Amla, and Lavana. Okay, sweet, sour, and salt pacifies Vata. Then Tikta, Katu, and Kashaya, bitter, pungent, and astringent, pacifies kapha. Okay, then Kashaya, so Tatradya Marzam Grandi Tres Tikta de Kapha, Kashaya Tikta Maduraha Pittam. Okay, astringent, bitter, and sweet pacifies pitta, and the opposites of those increase. Okay, so when you consume something and if you don't know what happens to that taste post digestion, how will you know whether it is going to increase vata or not? So that vata, pitta, or kapha or balance, that is the reason why post digestion or vipaka, okay, vishishta paka, is very important. Hope you're able to understand that, right? So Jathare and Agnina Yogat, Jathara Agni. So Jathara Agni Yogat. After the rasa comes, Jathara Agni Yedudedi Rasantaram. What the rasa which comes after that? Okay. Rasanam Parinamante. At the end of the Parinama or digestion, Sa Vipaka it is. That's called Vipaka. So this is Vishishta Paka. So the transformation of one taste into the other is very important for us to understand which dosha is getting, which dosha is going up or which dosha is getting pacified. Hope it's clear for you. How to control excessive increase in vata during travel? Okay, few things. Okay, try it when you're traveling. Try to catch up with good sleep. Your vata increase will go down. First thing. Second thing is that don't travel on empty stomach. Okay, so if you are able to eat something, eat so that there is some kapha. Food in the form of kapha is there, so your vata doesn't go up too much. Okay, and when you're having food, see that you have food which is snigdha. That means it has got oil in it, not deep fry. Okay, ghee or probably direct oil into it. So it should be snigdha hara. And second thing is that it should be warm. Don't take things which are extremely cold. Okay, things which can generate a little bit of heat. Okay, and that's it. So and then once you finish your travel, apply once you reach your destination, apply a little bit of oil in your body, wait for some time, and take a bath in warm water, not hot water. These things will take care of the vata increase during travel. Milk also helps you manage it. Kavita, myself and my mom are pitta vata prakriti, but I consume honey, I get knee pain. Because my mom consumes honey, she says her knee pain reduces. What is the reason behind this, doctor? So I personally feel that it is not only the pitta vata that is the question here. Second thing is that in pitta vata also, it all depends upon how much pitta, how much of vata. Okay, and I presume that the way you have taken your prakriti is right. Okay, now if you look at the age of your mom and your age, okay, that also makes a huge difference. So there are a lot of things which actually add to it, and your body build. Okay, if you are pitta vata, then both of you might be medium built. Okay, if you're vata pitta, your mother might be vata pitta rather than pitta vata, or she might also be pitta kapha. You might be slightly getting confused with the prakriti, but if your mother is feeling good taking honey, it's fine. Okay, and if you feel there is an increase in pain, I would say don't take it. Take the same thing with ghee. You will feel better. Okay. Yeah. Is it true that black Gouda is better than yellow color and whitish Gouda? Yeah, Aditya. This is a very good and relevant question. Okay. Gouda, in Malayalam we call that, Karta Sharkara and Veluta Sharkara. That means black Jaggery and white Jaggery. Okay. So, basically when you say black, it is not really black, it is dark brown in color. Okay. And when we say white, it is basically not purely white, but it becomes light brown. Okay. So normally, commercially available Jaggery is slightly light brown in color. The reason is that, if they add, it is slightly salty and they add a little bit of preservative so that the shelf life of the Jaggery is better. Okay. But if you look at the dark brown variety, if it is not packed properly, it will start melting and you'll see what that is actually purer. Okay. with very little preservative or basically no preservative. Okay, and that is the reason why you'll see that it melts when there is a lot of heat and all. The other one, it is basically to increase the shelf life. They add a lot of things. Probably some people say they also add a little bit of maida also. I'm not sure, but definitely it is more salted. Okay, so that it acts as a preservative. Does white coating in the tongue mean can I do abhyanga when there is white coating on the tongue? So it depends upon how much of white coating is there, Kamalnath. Okay. So when you have got ajirna or indigestion, okay, extreme ajirna indigestion, you are not supposed to do nasya. You cannot do abhyanga. You cannot do exercise. You can't even take a shower, proper shower. Okay. So that means extreme condition. Okay, but when it is slight coating and all, I think you should keep an eye and see how you are doing. Okay, I hope you're able to understand that. But if you see severe indigestion, that means you've got stomach pain, you're whatever you eat, you're not digesting, you're passing loose motions, or it's very heavy and all stuck there. We call that vishtambha. That means it's all blocked. Then taking a shower itself is bad. No application of oil, no exercise also. Okay, but little bit coating, you see how you feel, and then you can assess yourself. Okay, abhyanga reduces vata. Yes, Shashikar, abhyangam acharet nityam. Abhyanga is something which you have to do every day. Abhyangam acharet nityam. Sa, that means abhyanga jara shrama vata ha. That means it pacifies aging. Okay, jara, that means it slows down your aging. Jara, shrama, tiredness, and vata. So abhyanga reduces vata. Okay. My girlfriend is from Alaska. What food she needs to consume, which are warming in nature, which foods is best in Alaskan cold? See, if she is from Alaska, she might know what grows in what season, whatever is available in Alaska, and probably what her parents or ancestors or grandparents ate. Okay, so if she's from some other land and she's living in Alaska, then it's better for her to eat whatever food she is used to. Okay, if she's from India and she's living in Alaska, let her probably eat Indian foods. Okay, but if she's born and brought up and she's an Alaskan citizen or a native of Alaska, then it's easy for her to look back and see what her parents or ancestors and all those people ate, because I don't know what grows in Alaska. Okay, so it will be very difficult for me to comment on that. But if she's in Alaska, I think she would know what she can eat. She doesn't have to take anything specifically to warm her body, because she might be used to that kind of cold. Okay, suppose you go there, probably you will be shivering in your under your skin. So you can probably, if you are from India, then probably it's always good for you to have Indian foods, which will actually keep you warm. um, how do you see thyroid disease? See, thyroid is basically something which is happens from the neck, and it is basically a kapha sthana, and we consider that to be a kapha pitta roga. Okay, more of kapha and little bit of pitta. Vata definitely is got to be there. Okay, so yes. There are initial stages. See, what happens here is, most of the thyroid people who have got thyroid, they come to Ayurveda after they have been suffering from thyroid for about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or maybe once it becomes chronic, and when the doctor asks them to take 125 mcg per day, they suddenly think, oh, let me switch to Ayurveda. And it is not very easy, or I would say it is not possible to cure thyroid in such conditions. Okay, so Ayurveda does not say that Ayurveda can cure all diseases. According to Ayurveda, there are diseases have been classified into two: sadhya and asadhya. That means that which can be cured and that which cannot be cured. And sadhya diseases, cured diseases, have been divided again into two. That is sukha sadhya and krishna sadhya. That means easily curable and curable with a lot of difficulty. Okay, and now the other thing. Okay, asadhya roga has been classified into two: One is yapya and one is anupakrama. Yapya means patyabhyasena. Okay, that means if you that means regular medicines you take and you follow a diet properly, just like diabetes, after it becomes that means then you can manage the disease. And there's something called anupakrama. Anupakramas you cannot cure. That means don't have to take it up. So Ayurveda also is very clear about that. It doesn't say that I'll cure all issues. Okay. But I would say that if you have got an issue and if you trust Ayurveda, it's always good for you to come in the initial stages. Even diabetes, diabetes starts in the kapha stage. Just like human life, every disease starts in the kapha stage. Humans or life also starts in the kapha stage, then gets into the pitta stage, and then gets into the vata stage. Even prameha or diabetes starts in the kapha stage. When it's in the kapha stage, is a time where we can do the diabetic reversal, not when it is extremely chronic and the person has been suffering for 10 years, 15 years, he's on insulin. Can you cure? Not easy. Okay. Arvind, how do we understand the properties of sugar in today's context, as nowadays the manufacturing process is different? Yeah, manufacturing process is extremely different nowadays, Arvind. Okay, but I would say in Kerala, we still get the pure sugar, which the traditional sugar. It's called Guruvayur Panchasara. You can check it online. Okay, Guruvayur Panchasara, the sugar from Guruvayur. Okay, where the bleaching and adding animal bones and all those things are not there. Okay, that is what is happening in these days. Okay, so I would say the bleaching process actually makes the sugar more acidic, and because you're adding bleach into it. And I would say that rather than the sugar reducing pitta, it can also increase pitta a little bit, because I personal thing, I have noticed that off late, when I eat something which is really sweetened, you know after some time when I am walking, I feel burning sensation. It could also be that my digestive power has gone down a little bit, but I don't totally agree to that. But I also feel that it is because of the sugar that is actually causing that. So nowadays, as you said, Aravind, yes, the process has changed. We cannot consider sugar to be completely pittahara now. Okay, other things might be fine. It might be light and things and all, but we don't know what all chemicals they're using. So it can also increase pitta. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Shashikar, for any body type, I think that is a continuity of Abhyangam, right? Yes, for any body type, Abhyangam is necessary. Abhyangam Ajaret Nityam. But if you are somebody who has got a lot of kapha, that is not a normal condition. In a diseased condition, if you have got a lot of kapha, then you need not do Abhyanga. You should not do. Those are conditions where you should not do. Okay. But a healthy person, whether he's Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti, Kapha Prakriti, has to apply oil every and take a shower. How should we, hi Marcia, how should we eat honey? No, see, the sense, honey in the first stage, I'm telling you, when you see that you are diabetic and you are on medication, okay, especially Ayurvedic medication, okay, honey is something which will reduce kapha. As I said, diabetes in the first stage, okay, type 2 itself, when the first stage, the moment you are, you from borderline, you slowly start becoming diabetic. So you start doing exercises, you start taking that right, might be nisha gadagadi kashayam, or some methi, some people boil methi and drink. All those things, you can actually add honey also into it. That scrapes the kapha out. Okay, it reduces the kapha, and that will actually help you get better as far as diabetes goes, because don't look at the sweetness of honey that will increase the diabetes. No, that is not what we are focusing on. We are looking only at the properties of honey that will reduce the kapha, because the prameha or the diabetes is in the kapha stage at that point of time. Okay, so you can add honey into the medicines, not take too much of honey. Okay, as medicine you can take. Okay, can we have water and honey enema? Vasti, see, water and honey enema, I have not come across it, because normally we don't give water enema in Ayurveda. But honey is basically given when you give a kashaya vasti. Okay, Makshikam lavanam sneham kalkam kwathamidi krama. These five things are added to make a kashaya vasti. Okay, so that makshikam, that means honey. Honey is added. Okay, honey, lavana, salt, makshikam lavanam tailam, oil, kalkam is a paste of medicines, and then kashayam. And these five things are really well mixed, in the same order. That is what, and filtered, that is what is given as kashaya vasi. But water mixed with honey, we don't normally come across that. Um, is there a difference between brown color sugar and white sugar in the characteristic? I'm not sure whether there is a major difference in that. Okay, I think it should be wet. But what you get as brown sugar, brown colored sugar right now is, I think it is charred sugar. I don't know. I'm not sure whether it is the original one which you get from the sugar cane. I don't know. That's something which you have to get into Google and try to find out. Okay, but white sugar, as I said, if it is from the original source without all those chemical process and all those things, it is healthy to have sugar. Okay, sugar is something which you can have on a daily basis. Okay, but not guda, not jaggery. Honey also you can have on a regular basis. Sugar is also something which Ayurveda says that you can have on a regular basis. But that doesn't mean that you can have everything sweetened. Okay, little bit in moderation, mildly you can have. Okay, but the sugar should be good. Pandu Maggi. Yes, palm jaggery is also good. Okay, palm jaggery has become very popular of late because it is taken from the palm tree. Okay, so yes, I would say it's good. It is actually good. Even it doesn't increase the kapha too much, and just like jaggery. So when you have a cough and all those things, palm jaggery is actually a very good option. Can honey be mixed with lukewarm water? Some people have lukewarm lemon water in the early morning. Opinion not, sir. So honey generally, Len. Okay. So generally speaking, honey is something which cannot be exposed to heat. In the sense, don't heat honey. Okay. Don't mix anything which is hot with honey. Okay. And don't take honey when you are also hot. In the sense, suppose you have gone out, walked in the sun, or played a game and came and your body is extremely hot, don't consume honey. Okay, heat and honey doesn't go together. Okay, and I would say, taking lemon water with honey and warm water in the morning, I would not recommend it, because when you get up in the morning, your stomach is empty, you don't have anything in your stomach. It is not good for you to drink even tea or coffee because it's very acidic. Likewise, it all depends upon what you want to pour inside your stomach. If you're pouring lemon water is citric acid, I don't recommend you to have that on empty stomach. Okay, if people say that that will help you lose weight, but I would say, look at other things which you can do, like your calorie input, reduce your calorie input and start increasing your calorie output rather than consuming lemon water with honey in the morning. Okay. What's the order the body utilizes? What I'm asking in terms of organs. Organs is something, according to Ayurveda, it is basically the dhatus. Okay. So the first dhatu is the rasa dhatu, or the what do you call, the essence of food what you eat. From there it is the blood rakta, then it is the muscle mamsa, then it is the fat. Okay, rasa rakta mamsa medas, fat, asti the bone, then majja the marrow, and then last is your reproductive thing. So last is definitely reproductive. So this is the order in which the nourishment goes. The rasa, or the essence, as I said in the last week, rasa dhatu travels, rasa rakta mamsa meda asti majja shukra. Okay. Uh, I don't know. will your children be healthy? It all depends upon how healthy you are. It's not only the race that decides, because when you look at Sharira Sthana, Ashtanga Hridaya Sharira Sthana, okay, Viryavantam Sutam Sute. That means you are basically, when you want to have children, it all depends upon how healthy you are. The sense how much of importance you are going to give to your health, and how much of importance the woman is going to give to her health, so that all the dhatus are working well, and the last dhatu is the reproductive dhatu. Okay, so that is the essence of the body, and if you're healthy and if that woman is also healthy, then naturally you will have healthy children. Just because you are from different races will not make your children healthy, both physically or mentally. Okay. How can a diabetic see sugar, jaggery, and honey? Okay, I would say you can see sugar, jaggery, and honey from a distance, Shashikar. Okay, don't indulge too much in jaggery, especially, and sugar also might actually see, because sugar increases the kapha a little bit, but jaggery increases the kapha a lot. Okay, so sugar and jaggery is not indicated in whatever stage your diabetes is. Okay, especially if it's in the first stage. Honey, to a little extent, you can have it, provided you are disciplined with your food, other kind of food, and your activities. Okay, Shashikar. And I think, Shashikar, you were the person who recommended me to take this class on sugar, honey, and jaggery, right? When Ayurveda suggests honey intake should be considered raw and cold pressed honey, I would say honey is, it's always good to consume raw honey. Okay, honey in the raw form is the best honey. Okay, my tongue coating used to be thick earlier, now it's mild. I do not have any stomach trouble. I will do a binga, and as you advise, I'll keep an eye on reactions. Yes, Kamalnath. Okay, as much as you are in connection with your body, okay, it really works well. Okay, yes, there are people who are specialized, who can guide you, but at the end of the day, it is for you to understand how your body works. Don't depend completely on a doctor. Okay, because if you are not aware as to what is happening with your body, even if you fall sick, you might not be able to give out the your symptoms of what you feel really well. So you being in connection with your body is very important, Kamala, and I appreciate that you will keep an eye on what's happening with you. Can honey be used to treat vomiting during traveling or due to food poisoning? Divya, if you have got food poisoning, I would not give anything to stop that vomiting. Okay, because you know that there is something which has gone inside the system, which the body is trying to throw out. I would say, if as much as possible, you can drink a little bit of water, try to put your finger inside your throat and see that you vomit everything out and throw that visha or the poison out of your system. And after, once it is gone out, automatically you'll stop vomiting. And after you have thrown out everything, if you still feel like you feel something, yes, at that point of time, you make the person lick honey. There will definitely be a lot of result. It will really work. Okay, so during traveling, mostly people have, it's called motion sickness, right? People have that. I don't think it will help too much. You can try it out. Okay, but especially for kids, you see kids who vomit once they drink milk and vomit, and then vomit. For kids, it really works well. You mix honey in water and make them drink. They will retain that better. Motion sickness, I'm not very sure. Sita is mishri or rock salt, right? No, Sita is sugar. Okay, and rock salt is called khanda. Khanda Sita. That's why called Kalkhanda, it is called. Yeah, welcome. Yeah. They use curd to cook literally every non-veg recipe. See, over a period, see, Viruddha, see, let me try to explain this. Okay, Viruddhahara. Viruddhahara is incompatible food. Just because you had one day you had something, like as he said, curd and non-veg milk, it might not create a problem because your body is not that sensitive that it just crash because you had something like that. Okay, it's like somebody was telling, I was traveling on an aeroplane and I saw all the passengers take curd at night. When they came out, nobody fell sick. So curd at night is bad is a myth. So see, everything is cumulative. So something, because it is viruddha, it doesn't mean that you consume it once, you'll fall sick. You do it over a period of time, Subhash, you do it over and over and over and over, then you will have the accumulation of doshas and then it becomes viruddha. Okay, then it becomes that viruddha creates a problem for you. Okay. Okay. Can there be any other reason for bad breath other than oral hygiene and how to deal with it? Prajay Nishant. A bad breath, oral hygiene is the easiest thing to identify as far as bad breath goes. But, mild bad breath is always there because of poor digestion. Okay, so whenever you talk and all those things, you start getting it from the stomach. So that is one reason. And there is also other reason, okay, where if you have got a long standing lung infection, note it, okay, like you might have a pneumonia or something like that where you have a lot of phlegm, and so when you breathe, that the smell of that phlegm, which is not good, okay, that also comes out. Okay, that smell is entirely different. When we sometimes feel that we know what is going wrong, okay, that can also cause bad breath. Will there be any issue if I do Abhyanga at 9 p.m. every day, and how much oil to apply over the body? Praja, I would not recommend you to do Abhyangam at 9 p.m. at night. Okay, I would say it's always good for you to do in the morning. I don't know why you have to do it at 9 p.m. I would say doing it in the morning would be okay. And even when you're doing in the morning, you don't have to apply a lot of oil. Apply decent amount of oil and rub it really well. Okay, wait for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then take a shower in warm water. Okay. Yeah, Shashikar. Yeah. Jaggery, I don't think it is superior than organic sugar. Okay, and thank you for recommending that topic, but I don't think Jaggery is superior. See, all those things have got its own properties. Okay, sugar has got its own property. Jaggery's got. You cannot say this is best, that is better. In different conditions, different things can be applied. Okay. Yeah, most welcome, Kamalnath. Is rock sugar better than regular sugar? Yes, I suppose, if, see, it again depends upon, see, both the properties of both rock sugar and regular sugar are not very different. Okay, so if you feel that rock sugar is something which has got less adulterants, then probably, or the process is slightly better than normal sugar, you can use that. But by and large, if you look at the text, properties of both are almost similar. Okay, most of the Indian sweets contain jaggery with more ghee. So how does the dosha of jaggery change with ghee, or any other ingredient that change jaggery effects? Shashikar, you have noticed that Indian sweets contain jaggery, Indian sweets contain sugar, Indian sweets, or for that matter, any sweet anywhere, are the most unhealthy foods. Okay, for regular consumption. Okay, you remember that when I was a child, I probably ate a sweet might be once in 3 months or once in 6 months, or when we go for a function somewhere. Okay, now what is happening is, even when you look at Deepavali is a time where people eat a lot of sweets. Even Cadbury's, Cadbury's say, for Deepavali, gift a Cadbury dairy milk. Everybody's encashing on that. So sweets have become a part of everything. Like every day, people have started consuming sugar or jaggery or sweets and all those things. That is the reason why people are falling sick. You eat a pakka Indian sweet containing jaggery with lot of ghee. You're having it only once a month. What is the problem? Okay, it is good. Body knows how to manage it. Okay, as I said, when it becomes regular and when the cumulative effect is only bad. Okay. Kavita, I think you were pretty. I think you were there when this started. We had already discussed the properties of sugar. Okay, sugar is something which, just like rock sugar, I can just give you a gist. It will give you immediate energy. Okay, it is something which will pacify vata and pitta, and it increase kapha a little bit. Okay, so rock sugar is actually very good to control pitta. And if you feel that the rock sugar is from a good source, then you can stick to rock sugar. Okay. Does fondness of sweets indicate any dosha? Okay. Yeah, sometimes, I'll tell you, if you are too fond of eating sweets, couple of things. One is that you also have something to do with your mind. Okay, that means you are stressed. Second thing is that you also might be borderline diabetes also. Let me tell you very clearly. Okay, and sometimes, you might not be eating nutritious food, so the body wants immediate energy. You might go for sweets. Apart from that, I don't think. And then it becomes a habit sometimes, that you eat how much of a food you eat, you feel that if I eat the sweet only, I'll feel satiated. That's also a feeling. So I think, it is that you are not getting satiated. Okay, I would say, if you're somebody who does regular exercises, your sweet cravings will go down. Is gulkand a good alternative to sweets in a regular diet? I don't think. Gulkand is something which is rose petals and lot of honey or some other sweeteners added into it. I don't think it is a good alternative, a different alternative. I would say, try to understand as much as possible. Don't consume direct sugar beyond a certain limit. If you're having a tea, you're having one tea in the morning. Okay, probably after breakfast something, you add a little bit of sugar and have, that's fine. But don't drink 4 or 5 teas a day with a lot of sugar, and have a lot of sweets or a lot of sweetened things. Everything is fine. You don't have something, need not be a substitute for something. Okay, if you are moderate with your life, everything is fine. Okay. Abhyangam ajaret nityam shirashravana padeshu tam visheshena shileyate. Oh, good. Good, Aravind. Good. Okay. That you have to apply on a head, shira, shravana, and the feet every day. That means you have to give it more importance. Nice. Okay. So today let us come to an end of the session. Okay. Okay. So, Prajay, see, application of soap. Soap might be 100 years back. Okay. Before that, what they used to use green gram powder or some other thing to remove the excess oil. So it's not that people used to walk with the oil in the body. No, they used to try to remove it. But nowadays, what is happening is these chemical detergents are completely removing it. It's again your choice whether it is good for you to remove that much or not. I would say, if you just use a wet towel to wipe your body while you're taking a shower, itself will remove a lot of oil. So if you can use soaps which are extremely mild, it's fine. I don't want you to walk with a lot of oil on the body. If you wear some cloth, the cloth also will take a lot of oil. Even in those days, they used to remove it. Okay, but it was not soap. Okay. Elders say eating snail bite of jaggery after meal. See, that's I said, people who have got what do you call it is, you mean it's not small, it is small, right? Yeah, small bite of it is basically, you after you have had your meal, you feel that you are not complete, you're not satiated. So that's the reason when you eat that small piece of sweet, you feel, my dinner is complete. But it's a habit. Okay, I would say, you think about it. If it is not doing anything bad to you, and if you can stick to that small bite of jaggery, then it is okay. Okay. At the end of the day, you should feel happy eating food. Not calculate 10 grams of protein, 15 grams of that. That is not food. That is mathematics. I would say, look at food, enjoy, give it energy, eat it really well. It will also give you energy. Okay. So good night. See you next week with another topic. Okay. Bye bye.